Hello internet strangers and welcome to I Have No Idea, my hopefully bi-weekly series where I do stupid stuff while learning different aspects of game development. In the first few parts I just want to make a few little games to learn different basic aspects of game development. I'm going to be using the Godot game engine because I just like it the most. I can't really describe it, it just feels good. Now, many people in the game dev community say that as a developer, you just have to have a core idea for the game and then expand on the most fun aspects of this idea. And I'm gonna take that concept to an extreme and use it to find an idea for a simple game. So on Monday I opened up Godot with the goal to just add features until I find fun. I yoinked some movement code from an old abandoned project and started to work on the enemies. At this point I just told the enemy to follow the player on the x-axis. And hey, it's working properly, now he just needs to change the direction when I'm on his other side. And... what? I didn't even tell him to do anything with the y-axis. Do you see a single y in this code? After like 5 minutes, I too saw the y, and yes, now it actually works. Now just copy that for the y-axis and bam, he follows the player, and looking fly AF while doing so. His movements have unintentionally become kind of flowy and round. And hey, that's gonna be the goal of the game, just using the way they are attracted to the player to throw them into each other. Okay, I have no idea what happened here. I just realized the way the enemies move, I can use them to make a solar system. Yeah, take that Sebastian League. Get out of the way. My solar system is way better than yours. I've been working on the collisions for a while. However, collisions are pretty hard, especially when you're bad at programming, so I just went to sleep. From Tuesday to Thursday I didn't get anything done because, you know, school is a thing I gotta do. But on Friday I got the collisions working as I wanted them to, or at least I thought so. When enemies touch each other, they do the not alive, most of the time, and when something touches the player, it changes to a screen, which kindly tells you that you have sadly lost. And on Saturday, I started by making the collisions actually work, because Godot's move and slide function is, say, misleading. As far as I understand it, it only detects collisions if objects ram into each other and not if they move in the same direction and one of them yeets the other one in the back. For the rest of the day I didn't get anything done, except for making everything in the scene smaller and slower, so effectively making the scene just as big as your mom. On Sunday I made a new enemy, which has higher maximum speed but slower acceleration. I will call him the Charge Boy. And with him implemented I realized that making enemies crash into each other won't really work, as if you for example have two of the Charge Boys, which are really hard to control, in one level, you most likely will never get them to collide. So I will just flip the entire game on its head and make the goal of the game to have the enemies not crash into each other. And with this I actually have some ideas for settings for the game. For example, the player could be a farmer who doesn't want his animals to run into each other, or the player could have a magnet and the enemies are bombs, which probably shouldn't collide. Anyway, I also made a slow enemy with 50% of the normal enemy's maximum speed and acceleration, and the fast enemies, the ones you're seeing right now, with 150% of the normal enemy's stats. And with that done, I want to change the You Suck screen. And after thinking about it for a while, I got the perfect idea for a lose screen, as well as a win screen, as well as the perfect setting for the game. The game will be themed around the current season. What season, you might ask? Well, little one, obviously I'm talking about the No Nut November. This game you'll play as a nut in No Nut November, trying to help other nuts not to, well, hit each other. The defeat screen will be all the enemies going down into hell, because they have sinned. And the victory screen will be all the enemies moving up to heaven, because they have gained magical abilities by not hitting other nuts for a month. This is, by the way, simply done by changing some variables which are used for the enemies to get the player's position. On Monday I cleaned the 5 lines of code I had, and I shared a bit of what I've done on Reddit, where a nice stranger called Pierce Plays told me that if the goal of the game is for the enemies to not hit each other, then maybe calling them enemies is misleading, so I decided to call them friends for now, which, you know, is good, because giving positivity to a game is always good. Next, I realized that the player can just walk away from the level, and I don't really like that, so I made him, not be able to do that. And with that done, I finished pretty much everything, which isn't graphics, which are currently just the Godot basic icon sprite thingies in different colors, level design and level code, which I hope shouldn't be so bad. I was so naive. First, the graphics. I don't really know how to do graphics and I don't want to learn it right now, so I just made the player a nut, and I made everything else also a nut. While searching for nut images for all the different friends, I realized that it's apparently physically impossible to upload a non-licensed cartoon picture of a single cashew, so sadly there aren't going to be any cashews in the game. Now, with the coconut, the walnut, the acorn and the almond nut in orbit around the superior peanut, my work for today is done. On Tuesday I made the background green, because nature is often green, and I decided to put these weird bush models in the game, not because they look particularly good, but just they make the scene look less empty, so that's good. I started to work on the level system on Wednesday. Now it's Saturday and I'm still working on the level system, so as it turns out, it makes sense to plan your code. But I'm gonna make all the level code next week, so yay. And for the rest of the weekend I just worked on this video. Hey, you've reached the end of the video. I'm proud of you. You know the drill, like and subscribe and all that. This is my first ever video, so I don't really know what I'm doing, which you can probably tell. So if you have any ideas what I can do better, write them in the comments. Yay, goodbye.